Clearly, he's not going to come out and say what he said in the past about Israel. He's not going to say on the stage of Lerner that he doesn't think Israel should exist. He's going to dance around, and he's going to sort of dance around the issues and not say what we all know he thinks. And I think it's just playing into his hands, playing into his propaganda to allow him this sort of coverage and this sort of opportunity to speak at a respected American university.
I think it's actually a good thing because it gives the Jewish students and just students in general a platform to oppose him on and show him how despicable his views are. And there's two sides to every debate, and our side has gotten this much publicity, and as I've always heard, any publicity is better than none, and look where we are on every news network opposing him and his viewpoints. What Ahmadinejad stands for is not representative of an entire nation or its people, and as a Persian, I know for a fact that a lot of Iranians love Jews, love the state of Israel, and this is not representative of everyone.
You are an Iranian Jew?
Yes.
When did you come to America?
1990.
Where are your parents?
Everyone's in America. I have just one uncle left in Iran.
When you see the kind of attention that Ahmadinejad has brought to the Iranian people, the Iranian country, what do you? I mean, you're a Jew, but you also have some feeling for Iran. What is your sense?
Of course, the Persian culture is a huge part of who I am, and this is not representative of that at all. Iran used to stand as a beacon of religious tolerance, and it's a shame what he's brought the nation to.
If any Jews actually become more enraged by watching what he has to say, and actually more people tend to take stands against what he stands for because they see what he has to say, then I'm all for it. I'm happy for it, you know?
What's going to happen, this is my guess, what's going to happen today is that Ahmadinejad is going to focus on the Iraqi debate, okay? And I agree, Iraq is a very complex issue. I'm not happy myself with how the government, our government has acted in certain areas. However, this is not an Iraq issue today. This is a much more serious issue. This is an issue about literally the world can go up in fire, and this is for the sake of the Arab world, not just the Jewish world, not just America, that Ahmadinejad be isolated and be ostracized from the world. If the UN, which is a very liberal organization, places sanctions on him, then I would hope that Columbia University would be able to, stay away from its political opportunism and be able to say, you know what, you don't deserve to be here.
And what about the slippery slope? That's all I'm asking you. That the next thing the president of this university or that university can say, we don't want a pro-Israeli speaking. The Palestinian issue is black and white, and the Jews and the Israelis are black, and the Palestinians are white, and we're not going to give a pro-Israeli position the right to be heard on campus. You and I would be outraged.
That's a very dangerous question, the way that you phrase that.
But it's happened. It's real. We've seen it happen in the last decade.
We certainly have seen it happen, and I'm very wary when certain universities bring people in to speak on campuses. But I'm going to deflect that question for now.
This is not just about him preaching to us. This is a place for dialogue and discussion. We get to ask him questions as well, which I think is one of the most important, part of the open dialogue idea, and that it's not just giving him credibility by letting him speak, it's approaching his ideas with criticism and questions of our own, which I think is really important.
I have to advocate for my students. We ourselves are split. There basically seem to be two positions here. One position is that he should not be invited because of who he is, because he's despicable, and the other is that he has the right to be invited, but we're still going to tell him he's despicable. And in that, I can understand both sides. I actually, in this regard, and many people might be shocked when I say this, I actually have very high faith in Lee Bollinger. There's one thing which he has championed is free speech, and I know that, for example, for the academic boycott of Israel, he has been a loud voice against it. I also speak to the parents out there who are worried about sending their children to campus like Columbia. A few years ago, we had the David Project and students on this campus put out a video, and everyone was saying, this campus is anti-Israel, this campus is so the David Project, it was they helped students who put together a documentary documenting student responses to professors who the students say were not only virulently anti-Israel in their classroom, but were belligerently so against the students in that regard. And one thing which I will say, and I'm proud to be a member of this campus, is that I know this happens on campuses across the country. The one thing which I love about this campus is that we had a voice to respond. The reason we know that video came out on this campus is because the Jewish students and the pro-Israel students felt comfortable and confident enough to actually make a video of that kind. So, go Columbia. So.